Let's get it, Ryan. What's up, brother?
Hey, man.
How are you, man?
doing? I'm good, brother.
How are
Nice
you?
to see you.
We got Dustin. We got Ryan here.
Dustin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dustin, you've never met Ryan, right? It's your first time.
Yeah, first time.
Okay.
It's a pleasure.
Absolutely,
It's a pleasure.
for sure.
Well, he is a good guy, man. He has a specialty on like mental health, and that's why we brought him on here today. Give us a little rundown, man. You know, what do you do, and why are you so passionate about that?
Yeah, so I run a men's mental health and wellness company. So I started this about 2 years ago. It started with just some life coaching. I have unfortunately been the victim of a lot of trauma over the course of my life. So if I can use that battle as kind of like a blueprint for other success, that's kind of what I hope to achieve. I was in the military for a long time, you know, and when I got out of that, it was more along the lines of like me just trying to integrate into society and really struggling with the aspect of not having a brotherhood or friends or anybody I can really talk to that could understand. You know, it's one thing to talk to people and they can have empathy for you, but it's a whole other when somebody has like, look, man, your wife's done this, my wife's done the same thing. You know, I've been through this, you've been through that. It's easier to connect over like mutual hurt, I suppose,
Right.
as opposed to anything else. So I started this and I started talking to veterans for the VA. I found that was really helpful for not only my own healing, but for theirs as well. So I didn't go to therapy, right? The military had a way of kind of saying, hey, you can talk to anybody about anything you want to. But as soon as you did, get a big old red flag in your thing there, and they're like, this guy's dangerous, you know, he can't deploy him, can't do anything. So you kind of get, and then it makes your home life really difficult because you do one job at home, and when you deploy, you do another. So like when you're at home station, like I was an ER nurse, so I did that at home, and then when I go overseas, fly in C-130s, do trauma, whatever the case may be. So when I would get home, you know, if I had any kind of mental health issues or anything like that, your command would just kind of eat you up, or they would give you extra duty or whatever for causing problems, you know?
Right.
So it was like those things. It's like, you can talk about it, but you're going to pay the price for it.
Yeah.
So after that, it was kind of like me, just a way of talking to guys that have been through the same thing. And it was just really a passion. I wasn't even paid to do it or anything. It was just a way of helping me kind of cope with the things that I was going through. And I didn't really believe in therapy at the time. So,
Right.
you know, that's just where we got started.
Yeah, man. So something that you have in common, and I feel like we've had a lot of military people on here. He was ex-military as well.
Man.
So you think that's true a lot what he's saying? That you can't really talk about your trauma because
You're a pussy.
it won't work and you're a pussy?
It may be different now. I don't
fucking think so. Well, maybe with the whole way that, you know, the whole liberalism and all that fucking shit is.
I've heard,
stuff,
I've seen things as far as like even basic is easier. You know, like you're not allowed to yell, you're not allowed to touch the guys or anything like that. Yeah, I would get. I mean, we can curse, right?
Yeah,
They fuck you up. You know, they would just fuck you up. Like, I mean, he could probably tell you basic training. You get a couple guys around you and hit you in the head with hats, or you know, push you around or whatever. Nowadays, they're not allowed to touch you or anything like that.
Dirt kicked in your face.
Yeah, dirt
when
kicked in
you're
your
doing shit.
face.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, all kinds
Now
of
they'll
crazy
cry like a little baby, and they're okay. Go to the tent.
Yeah, no,
you know?
they're just basically there to hold your hand. You just make it through, and they've even shortened it. It used to be like a long time. I think it was like 4 or 5 months, and now it's like a couple weeks or something like that. I don't know.
What year did you go? What year did you went?
I went
What
in,
branch?
and I was in the Air Force. I think I went in 04, like almost right out of high school, and then that was like right before 9/11. Like I remember being in OSHA. It was like a class, and there was like the Twin Tower stuff was going on and whatever, and I was just like, okay. So then I felt like kind of like dutiful to do that. My grandfather had served, and I just kind of felt like it was what I was supposed to do. I wasn't really doing shit with my life anyways, you know. I didn't really do well in school. I surfed a lot, you know. I kind of just hung out and skipped and did whatever, and then I was just like, I don't really have any aspirations or plans. So my parents were like, you know, go get in the military. So that's what I did. So I was in there since 2004 to like 2012.
Wow. What about you?
I came in 2010, got out 2017.
Okay.
Smarter than me.
Yeah.
Smarter than me.
So you guys both see it, man. You guys have both went through boot camp. You remember how it was. You guys looking at it now, how do you feel that we have digressed? Like, how do you guys, or does that piss you off that it was almost harder when you guys were there? Or?
Absolutely, because you're not putting out the same quality of military, either soldier, Marine, airman. It's been pussified for reals. It's to the point to where, you know, they're not coming out with the same mentality or mindset that they should be towards their brothers and like that camaraderie. It's more, okay, me. It's more looking in. Oh, don't yell at me. Don't do this for me. It's not about you. It's about
exactly.
left and right of you.
I think that's where a lot of I hate to say it, like, I think the hardest part for me after getting out was seeing us pull out of stuff after losing so many friends. And then you start to like wonder like why. And then the real world has their own opinion, right? Like I laugh anytime a civilian tries to give me an opinion about the military. I'm like, why? Why are you even talking to me about this? Like, you don't know what you're talking about. So I found that even in real world, it's like people have this messed up concept about what it is or like what it's supposed to be. And it's like, you don't get it until you do it. And it's like, it's not every man for himself. It's like, I trust you as much as I trust myself, as much as I trust him. That's the whole point of it. It's like, you are one continuous unit and you're a machine. You're supposed to be a well-oiled machine. If you've got one guy, like the stuff that pissed me off at the end was like all this, I have nothing against the trans stuff, all that other stuff. But when it comes to like people being in that required like hormone therapy or special treatment or whatever, they would get deployed, but then they would sit and they weren't a part of anything. And then they required special treatment and stuff like that. And it was very difficult to like move people in one direction when you've got everybody getting special, treatment from others. Like
So the military treated those people differently.
100%. Yeah. And they even benefited from it because it was like, they didn't have to really, then they became non-deployable. And it's like, why? And I mean, now it's probably different. I haven't really looked into it that much.
Well, not Trump's in. I don't think he lets them.
Yeah, and it's like, I think a lot of that was just, you kind of knew, but you didn't really ask. But at the same time, it's hard. Like if you're in the house with 5 other kids and you're all raised one way and it's like your younger brother gets away with marking crayons on the wall and you get your ass beat for it. You're like, why? It's like your parents just stopped giving a shit by kid number 5 or am I just the asshole? So it's kind of like, well, it's just not, it's not conducive to morality really. Absolutely. Like the overall morale starts to decrease as people are, shown special quarter kind of deal. Right. And then obviously on top of that, the mental health issue, when it comes to that stuff is already insanely high. Like you take a regular guy that is pretty normal and you just put him out there, the rigors of that are already enough to raise the suicide rates through the roof, right? And then you also deal with somebody that's having like an identity crisis or a mental health defect or something like that. It triples it.
Plus being put on hormones and all this stuff, I'm sure it quadruples it at that point.
Yeah, I think it was like 2009, right before I got out, my last deployment to Afghanistan, there was somebody that threw a grenade into a tent with 20 sleeping guys. Wow. It was just like, that was just a normal person that was going through a bunch of shit. And it's like, you can't even compound normal stuff on top of that stuff. There's already so many proponents to people having a hard time with it that you don't want to add things. It's already difficult. So I think that's probably why it's just like, it doesn't make you a unit. It doesn't make you a fighting force. And I think a lot of that has been lost. And it's like, oh, just take it easy on them. It's like, I don't think you guys understand what we're really doing out here. Mm-hmm. It's like, this has to be combated with, a little bit of the same firepower, a little bit of the same evil, so to speak,
yeah,
that's really all it is. And I'm not trying to get terrible about it, but a lot of people have lost the aspect that like it takes good men that are capable of violence to be able to stop worse people capable of worse violence. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that, I think that's kind of like gone now. It's like, don't do that. So.
Right. I think it's the option. I think that when the option gets taken out that you can be a pussy, that's when you become a man. Like back in the day, they didn't have that option for you. Remember, they just threw you on a bus and shipped you, and you're going to the doors opening, in Normandy, and you're getting fucking bullets. Like you have to be a man. Nowadays, they give you that option, and I feel like with anything, if it's an option and it gets hard, you're probably going to choose the easy option. I feel like that's a lot of the big reason why people are doing that too. So if it's like, okay, if I have a mental breakdown and I can go talk, I don't know anything about the military, you guys can tell me about this, but I can go talk to someone now and they're going to talk me down, or maybe I don't have to fight anymore. I don't think that was an option 20, 30 years ago. No. You're going no matter what. Right. So I think those options that they're allowing you to puss out is where the problem is too,
I agree. I think, and I'm sure Dustin can speak on this too, is, there are places in life where the option should exist, right? If you are like in a normal civilian working environment and you're having a full mental breakdown, you should probably take a break, right? You get that option to do that. Okay. But if you're like, there, if you kind of know what you're getting into, the option can exist because again, it goes back to the same thing. If it's like quiet quitting, if you're like doing the right thing your whole life and you look across the street and somebody that's doing it half-ass is getting it done faster because they're cutting corners, and what you're going to kind of want to do what that person's doing, to like get done faster, or get where you're trying to go. So it ends up bleeding into the problem of, well, if this guy's doing it, I'm going to do it,
Exactly.
So and it's a domino effect. It's like, if this guy's getting out for claiming this, then, and I think that's why they were so hard at one point, was because if you got special treatment and somebody found out about it, like especially in your squadron or something, not only mention the ridicule that you would get from like your peers, like pussy, you're a pussy, like don't do whatever. I was actually, this is going to sound crazy, but I was sexually assaulted by a female captain while I was in the Air Force overseas. And when I told my commanding officer about it, holy shit. He was like, are you fucking complaining about getting raped by a woman? I was like, this woman was like 43 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 28 and married with 2 kids. That's when I got kicked out, because I just made so much of a fuss about it that they were like.
So they kicked you out because of that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They actually took me from the Air Force base I was at overseas, which was Helmand, the Helmand province. And they shipped me back to Germany, and I had to stay there for 7 months while like I had to basically getting punished. And then that chick like ended up getting promoted. I don't even know where she's at now, but I'm just saying, like, I ended up getting back home station. They made my life a living hell. They like gave me extra duty. They took away a rank. I mean, they fucked me up. And so I was like, I'm getting out. Like, and then they forced me out. I don't even know how, by the grace of God, I got out with an honorable discharge after that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they fucked me up. So after that, it was very difficult for me to like, it's like, hey, go from this and go back to real world after 10 plus years of serving in a fighting force, doing what you were doing. And then like, you're out because of something like that. It was just crazy. So I lost, like, I just stopped giving a shit after that. I was just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Well,
obviously I think you did give a shit eventually. So So when you did get out, I'm sure you went through some mental breaks and stuff. Talk a little bit about that. How hard was it coming back to,
Well, I think a lot of it had to do with, I had my best friend that I grew up with had ended up committing suicide. My father committed suicide. I think at the time you don't really think about it in a capacity. You think it's like kind of weak, and you're like, damn, they took the easy way out. Mm-hmm. I've kind of changed my perspective on that over time. I think it takes an incredibly strong person to be able to pull the trigger, so to speak, because they know what they're leaving. They're leaving something that they're not guaranteed to, like having a life that they can make theirs, So after speaking with people that have been in that position for a long time, I've kind of changed how, I look at it, so to speak. But the struggle with just in general, going from that kind of life to normalcy, I don't know how it was for Dustin, but after what I had been through, so many friends had just passed away. I felt like I had nobody. And then my family wasn't really like the most loving family. So it was very difficult for me to kind of like talk to anybody. I wouldn't see a therapist. I didn't believe in therapists. I'm not saying, I'm going to say, I do believe in therapy, but in very specific nuances.
Is that your stance now, or is that back then?
I do, only because the majority of guys I talk to, right, they're not struggling from an actual mental health crisis. They don't go outside. They don't take vitamins. They don't eat properly. They have low they're basically like almost like low testosterone. Yeah. They have high estrogen. Like they are
depressed.
They're depressed, right? And they just don't have any, and they go, like I said, they go to work in a box. They come home, they live in a box. They stay in that box. They don't go anywhere. They don't hang out with friends. They basically have like their other half, which is great. I love my other half. I would spend every waking moment with her. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I also need to have my own identity out of that. And I need to make sure I'm doing things for me, which was my biggest downfall in the beginning of my life, was I did everything for everybody else. I cared more about everybody else than I cared about myself. So it just became to this point where it's like, I'm living for nobody. I'm just living for whatever I can get by on. So, excuse me. But it just came to this point where I was like, what am I even doing? So I just started talking to people that had similar instances or circumstances, and it just kind of blossomed into this like light bulb moment where I just did a 180 with my life, and I just started living for myself, and it was completely different. So I think that's when everything changed for me and when I wanted to get into it.
Was there any coping with like alcohol, drugs?
So my father was an alcoholic, and I have a very addictive personality. Like if I pick up a drink or anything, I won't stop. I feel it. So like I found that early on in my military career, almost got me kicked out like within the first year, because I was like, you get that first, you get to go off base for like the first time. I just got obliterated. And I woke up in the hospital with my stomach pumped because I was just like, I hadn't had a drink in 8 months. I was just like, I was going nuts. So after that, I haven't really drank since. So I don't really do anything like that. So there was no coping per se, but there was a lot of pity for sure. Like a lot of self-loathing, like where you just get to a point where you like feel like an apparition, where you're not even like a real human being anymore. You can't feel emotion. You can't feel happiness. You can't feel pain. You just kind of like exist. Like you just kind of haunt, I suppose. That's just how it was for me. I don't know how it was for anybody else, but I just kind of didn't want to feel like that anymore. And I didn't go through therapy or anything. And I'm not saying everybody can do this, but as men, I think we just get to a point where like, if you're fucking unhappy with what you're doing, if you just hate where you are, you're hurting people, you're going through women, you're doing whatever, you're doing all the wrong stuff. You just get to a point where you just don't want to be that person anymore, or you don't give a shit and you just stay where you are. Like, it's not weak to feel like you can't change. It's weak to know that you need to and then not doing it. That's weakness to me. Like, if you know what you got to fucking, you wake up, you have kids, you have a job, you have clients, you wake up, you know exactly what you have to fucking do to make sure that goes from A to Z. You just do that. Nobody's calling you. I didn't call you this morning and say, Matt, you got to do this shit today. You know what I mean? Like, Dustin's the same way, I'm sure. You guys are always doing the right thing. But there takes a special kind of person to be able to do that.
Right.
Not everybody's the same. So it's just what I've dealt with anyway.
Yeah. You go through that when you came out?
Yeah, definitely. You just pretty much become like a lone wolf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just like, I don't know. Nobody understands me. Fucking, yeah, where are my brothers at?
Yeah.
It's been a long time. Yeah, I mean, I still got my military folks that still hit me up, and
But it's not the same.
no, it's not. And then I have one that will always hit me up when he's drunk. I fucking hate him.
Yeah. I have one of those guys.
What he calls you when he's
Yeah.
smashed?
Yeah, and it's just you're just talking about literally the
Yeah.
same shit over and over and over again.
I call those people assholes, where they're always like calling you up, asking you what to do, and they just never do it. So they're like, all right, thanks for the advice. And then they call you back with like the same issue. Like
3 years later.
yeah, dude. It's like,
Didn't change shit.
yeah, it's
when
like,
when are you going to change?
Right.
Bro? Like,
Yeah.
holy shit, you're older now. Get the fuck, grow up.
I think they just stay in a time capsule, honestly. And it's like when you go to the, like, if you've ever been in a situation where like you're doing good in the gym and you're feeling good, you're looking good, you're like in the best shape you've ever been, and like you go somewhere else for a little bit. I encounter this quite a bit just traveling as much as I do back and forth between Tennessee and here. It's like I'll go back to my gym in Tennessee. Everybody's the same. Like they look the same. I mean, it's like no change in 6 months. It's like
absolutely.
it's
See
like,
that all the
and
time.
it's not like they're looking better or worse. They're just kind of like stagnant.
Yeah.
And then they'll always ask you, "Hey man, you look great." They notice you. I'm sure you've encountered, "Hey man, you looking great. What are you doing?" I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you'll encounter that in real life too. Where it's like, man, you're still doing the same shit that you were 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And like, you're crying about why your life is the way that it is. Well, you haven't even tried to stop doing what you're doing.
Well, I think we see that a lot, man. We see the same people doing the same shit every day and expecting a different result. Like, you have to just wake up and just say, you know what, dude, I'm done with this shit. I'm just going to stop what I'm doing and I'm going to fucking change. And again, people just get in that rut. And I think when you first decided to come on, I said we had like different views on things is because I feel like men are supposed to suffer. Like, we're supposed to be the ones that suffer. And me personally, like, I don't really talk too much about my emotion in general, right?
Sure.
So you're saying that you should talk more about your emotion, but I think the thing is, you guys talking about brotherhood. Like, you need to have a best friend that you can call and be like, I do have a best friend, Justin. I call Justin all the time, and we bullshit about fucking anything, like everything and everything.
Yeah.
So I think it's brotherhood is what you're building and what I admire, right? Because tell us a little bit about what you've been doing in the past, 1 month now? You started something? Tell us a little bit about that.
The actual company I started has been about 2 years. So I started doing, like I said, through the VA, I was doing like some equine therapy with other fellow veterans and things. Like I would go for nonprofits and whatever. But it really started to take off when I had a guy come to me and he was like, I think he was like almost 50. Right. And I think at the time I was like 37 or something like that. This guy's 50. I mean, this guy has millions and millions. And he'd come to me and he was like, hey, I had encountered him from the gym and he just sent me a message and he was like, I just want to let you know that in our short time just conversing with each other, you've kind of changed my perspective on stuff. It's not so much of like my experience, but like what I've been through. And because he has everything in the world, but like he doesn't have somebody he cares about, right? Like the dude can go buy a jet if he wants to, but he can't find the love of his life. And he feels like it was like, what is it all for? Kind of deal. So there are like people in those situations where you never know who you're affecting. or like you're just moving through life and you'll just change somebody's perspective just because you ran into them and had a good conversation, or you just took the time. You took 5 minutes to actually talk to somebody. You know, a good buddy walking the gym the other day, just not quite himself. You know, it's like, what's going on? And then like you have to pry. Like, what is it? What is it? Like, just fucking tell me. And they're so afraid to like just say what's on their mind because they're so afraid of either judgment or like embarrassment. And this particular person like is younger than me, like kind of looks up to me because we have a lot of these talks. And he just kind of spilled everything. And it's like, who have you told? Well, nobody. You know, just they kind of sit with it and they don't know which direction to go. So the only reason I pick up the sword, so to speak, is because, again, I want to use my experience in both trauma and life as a roadmap to help people with success. And the way that I look at it is like a lot of guys are like, why do I fucking need a life coach or whatever? And it's just like, okay, why do people need a fitness coach? What do you like most about being a coach?
What do I like?
Yeah, what do you love about being a coach?
I mean, I like winning shows, bro.
Yeah.
I like dominating. In the beginning, you know, I think it's just like anything else. You want to continuously progress, right? Like I liked lifestyle coaching. I was like, wow, I just dropped, this guy just lost 100 pounds with me. What the fuck? I was able to do that with somebody. Then it's, okay, now I'm starting to do shows. And okay, cool. I just like bringing someone to the fucking show.
Right.
And then eventually I'm like, dude, I like fucking winning. I like dominating everybody. When they see that I'm coming with athletes, they're going to look at my athletes and they know I mean fucking business. So that's where I'm at. So that's
so like brand recognition, notoriety. But like, what is your favorite part aside from the winning? Like, what is your favorite part about the coaching? Like, what about being with a client that just gets you just?
Well,
hyped?
I think I found that it's therapy both ways, right? Like when I train in person, I know he can attest to this. You get really close to clients, and I get so close to my clients where I know everything about them. I know their life. I know who's broken up with them. So it does go both ways, right? So it helps me to be able to vent in the healthiest way possible.
Exactly.
So that's probably the number one reason why.
Exactly. And that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
You know, just because, and I can tell, you know, we've known each other for a little bit, you know, just like you like to get in people's heads, right? You like to know that you can change the outcome of somebody. You like to say like, I love to take this from this and I can do what nobody's been able to do. Cause I'm sure you've had clients that have had coaches in the past that just either fucked them up or they just weren't ready, but you like, it's that level of confidence that you know that you can change the complete trajectory of somebody's entire existence just by putting in a little bit more effort than the last person, or maybe just that 1 extra %.
Yeah.
So that's where I it's like, if I can prevent a suicide or get somebody to admit that they are a fucking problem in their life, I love fucking holding people accountable. I'm a checker. And I love to check people. And I love when people, you'll meet these people. I'm sure you have, where somebody just is a certain way because they've gotten away with fucking everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And until they meet you and they're like, can't get away with that bullshit here. They can say anything they want to, and you're just stoic and you're just like, I don't fucking believe you. Cut the shit, right? So a lot of guys will try to bullshit me about this or woe is me. And it's just like, you're the fucking problem here, man. You hit your woman. She left you. That didn't happen to you, right? That's a cause of your actions. And you need to start taking accountability. And when I turn these people and I'm like realizing that they are the issue, and they start to have those light bulb moments. Like that's what I chase. I love the light bulb 180 moments where it's like they've been chasing a certain perspective their entire life. And then somebody just comes along and is like, stop, that's wrong. Turn it around and do it the other way. And then we're going to go here now. And so when I do this coaching program, it's more along the lines of like leading people in a direction to save them years of their life. And that's where I get the biggest high. It's like, if I know that I can save you from making a decision that's going to cost you, whether like it's jail time or you're fucking up a marriage, or, you know, you're losing access to your kids, or literally anything else that is completely detrimental to who you are as a human being, then that's where I like to grab somebody and get them before they go to that place. Because I promise I've fucked up more than anybody in this lifetime. You can bring 60 guys in here, bring all their problems to the table. I'd lay out mine first page. Everybody will take theirs back every time. I have made more mistakes than anybody else. And I think it's because of that I'm able to help guide and direct. And that's where I kind of get my passion for it, so to speak. Like, don't be me. It's like the fat trainer at the gym. Don't be like me, man. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
So do you feel like some people are lost causes? I got to say, like, I don't even want to go into like details and stuff, but there has been people that I've tried really hard with and eventually I just have to cut them out because they're lost causes. Right. And some of them are dead today. So what do you have to say to those people, man, that you just can't, there's nothing you can do to these people. There's nothing you can say.
Dude.
They're on that track and you got to just let them go. Do you let them go?
Yes. And it's funny you even say that. Yesterday, just real quick, I've been helping this couple, right? These two people that have come to us, Renee and myself, because like we kind of help relationships and stuff like that from time to time, and because we are a solid couple, so people see that and they want to know what our secret sauce is. And it's like, there's no fucking secret sauce. I respect this person, she respects me, and from that respect, we move in ways that show that respect to one another, right? It's that simple. But people are always looking for some answer. But you just like you said, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink. You cannot change people until they are ready to change. And that is the hardest part, is that somebody has to say, I don't know what it is, but the hardest thing for them to say is, damn, you're right. You're right. I'm the fucking problem. I need to change. But it's like, just to get them to admit that pride or whatever it is, the ego, it's like, take that away from them. And it's like, they can't have any kind of humility whatsoever. It's like, you can have pride in yourself, but not so much pride that you can't be humbled, right? You have to have some humility, or else you have no moral standing right here. So with this particular couple, it's like back and forth, back and forth. You give them advice and then they take it, but then they do the complete fucking opposite, and then they explode. And I love these people to death, right? They were close friends. They are close friends. But it's like, out of selfishness, I want them to work because, like, hey, I don't want to have to, skirt tail around this. But at the same time, if they're not ready to change, I can't force them to change, right? And I you get to a point where it's like, the energy I was dumping into it the other day, one pitting the other after another, it's like against each other, and you're their friend. It's like, I don't want to listen to this. You either can take what I'm telling you and apply it, or we're done, because now it's taking away from my energy and it's giving me a bad day. And what I'm very protective over everything is myself. If you're causing me too much problem, I'm done. I'm not gonna sit here and waste my time that could be taken in helping somebody else that actually wants to fucking change, while you're sitting here crying about the easiest thing to change, which is just realizing that you are fucking up, and just stop your pattern. And that's that simple. That you just gotta let those people go.
So extreme ownership, you utilize that a lot with people?
100%. And I tell people before they even start these programs, I'm like, listen, I'm going to be in your ass. If you don't check in with me during this time or this time, if I give you assignments for the week and you can't, at the end of the week, when Monday rolls around and we're ready for week 2, if you don't have your work done, we're not progressing. I'm gonna keep your money, and then you're gonna have to wait, because now you've messed up my schedule. Right. And so I care so much that I want their progress to be so linear and so fast that I can't deal with people taking, I love when people take their own time, their own pace, their own effort, their own comfort. But when you agree to something with me, it's a contract. Like if I agree, like, hey, we're going to be friends, don't ever try to sleep with my wife or anything like that, and they break that, you're done. It's a boundary that I set, right? And that's, again, self-protection. It's because I want to help, but not at the expense of my own time and comfort. And you know what I mean? My own love for myself. I'm too passionate about what I've got to do in order to circumvent and lessen myself just to get you by, right? Do the work, come back. We'll continue to do the work until you're ready. And that's simple. So yeah, I like that. That was a good question.
Yep, for sure, man.
Yep.
Now, we've talked about this multiple times, and no one ever gives me the answer that I think I'm looking for. But, back in the day, there are different mindsets, right? There are the leaders, and then there are the followers, right?
Right.
Is there a chance that we can transition these followers into leaders, or do you think there's just a special few that just have the alpha mentality, not the fake alpha, not the bullshit, not the faking, and you're just going to do whatever? The true alphas, right? The people that attract, and the followers. Can we convert the followers into leaders?
I really, and that just to speak to that, I cannot stand. And one of the things I talk to the guys about is like, you will not find screaming at the sky, cringe shit, like holding your hand. Like, it's okay if you cry. If we've shared something interpersonal and very, very, vulnerable to you that you've probably never told, like, oh, my dad abused me or whatever. It's like sharing that with somebody is a different level, So when people are in that follower mindset, I think, again, it's easy for somebody, and I'm sure you've had it before, where somebody, like, I get it all the time, younger guys or like even an older person will like look to me as a mentor because I've done something right somewhere that they wish they could have done. Like I don't wait for things to just happen to me. I go take them. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it, right? Not at the expense of anybody else, but just, You know, if I want to go, if I want to go start a podcast, nobody's gonna stop me. I'm gonna go get the stuff. I'm gonna do it, and nobody's gonna tell me I probably wouldn't do that. There's already 50 people doing podcasts right now. I don't care. I don't care what y'all are doing. It's great. You have a great setup, but it's what I want to do. So I've had along the time, like especially in my sales career, it's like you get a lot of guys that they look at you, they see the suits, the cars, the whatever, and it's like, man, you're making 500 grand a month. I want to make 600 grand, and it's like then they start to be like, okay, cool, that's great. And then they start to see what it takes, and then they can fake it for a little bit. People can always fake, but then after a little bit, the facade just crumbles because that's not actually who they are. They just don't have it, right? And there are a lot of people that just straight up do not have it. And I hate to say that because it sounds super insensitive, right? But there are people that are, I don't use the word weak. I just use the word unknowledgeable. They just don't know how. And that's where I get a lot of the push and pull when it comes to people that just need guidance. Like I've had guys that are like, I believe in so much that I don't give up on them because I see a lot of like either myself or something in them. They try so hard, but they just can't quite get there. And it's not something that they're not doing. It's because they just lack the knowledge. So I try to take those people that I actually believe in and like give them the tools to do that. And I've seen plenty of followers, become leaders just because you are there to help guide them. Like if somebody could be a phenomenal coach, right? But then maybe their rapport just sucks, right? That's just maybe they just like aren't good with people, but like maybe a couple courses on how to be a nice person might make you more approachable. Right. Like I know a realtor back home, fucking insane. Doesn't take no for an answer, just millions of dollars in sales. She's the most unlikable fucking person I've ever met in my entire life. But I actually like that about her because it's like, I don't have to like you in order to provide you with what you need. The person just does it because they do it. I have a car. I've bought 7 cars from this guy back home. I fucking hate him. I literally hate the guy so much because he's like so good, but it's like, he doesn't bullshit me. He bring one thing and that's it. That's why I buy a car from you because like, I don't want the guy with like the gold chains and like, I don't want that guy. I want the guy that looks like shit in his suit. He's like on his 3rd divorce. Like I want the guy that needs the money. You know what I mean? To like,
because they're going to grind harder.
Right. He's going to grind. And so like those guys are the sleepers. And I love those people because they just do stuff because he's the most unpersonal person I've ever met in my entire life. He just doesn't look you in the eye, won't shake your hand, but the guy will just make sure that my time is cut in half. Right. And that's all I care about at that point. I'm just like, get me out of here. Nobody wants to sit at a car dealership for 5 hours. Dude.
It happens every fucking time. And you know what it is?
I'm just like, please
They always
stop.
tell you it's not going to happen.
We're
going to get you out of here in 5 minutes. Don't worry about it. 12 hours fucking
It's
later.
the worst. It's the worst, bro. Even I come from sales and I tell them, I'm like, dude, I did 3 million sales last month. Just bring me your lowest sheet. I had a guy, I just literally bought a Volkswagen for my daughter. The guy came up, gave me a sheet of paper. I ripped it up. I didn't even look at it. I was just like, because I know what you're doing. Go give me the real price and just come back or else I'm leaving. Please. I have like a couple hours with my child. It's all I want to do is spend a little bit more time with her and then I'm out the door. Just let me get you a sale so I can leave. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just things like that. It's like, just let me go about my day, please.
100%.
So to answer your question, in a very roundabout way, sorry about that.
You're good.
I do believe that certain followers can become leaders if given the right tools, because there are a lot of people that have a lot of great capability, but maybe they just didn't have a father growing up, or maybe they just lacked a mentor, or maybe they just didn't have anybody to talk to. Maybe they just lack the skill necessary to know what they're doing.
Do you think you're born with that mindset, or do you think it's made as you're?
I'm telling you right now, I was not born with my mindset. I was small. I think I graduated high school at 110 pounds. Like I had to train for like 6 months before I can even pass the basic military exam. I was small, dude. I had no confidence. I mean, I got girlfriends all the time because I was funny, right? But that didn't really give me like a sense of value. You know what I mean? So I didn't have it, and I was very insecure. And then like the second I got into the military, I all of a sudden had all of these people that saw something in me that I didn't see. They were like, hey, like when I would speak, they would listen, right? I would look them in the eye because I respected them, because my father always taught me respect, right? And this is my stepdad, by the way. He's been there for like 35 years. He's the greatest man alive. You know, he's took on two small boys, never had any of his own, but like literally I respect the fuck out of that guy. But he is somebody that's like, I aspire to be like. no college education, no whatever, hardest working person I've ever met. And he'll do that until he's 80. But when it comes to like those things, I didn't have like the ability to just lead. But when I started to speak, people listened. And then because I was genuine, I cared about people. You know, like I want to see you succeed. We're in this together. It's like you're having a hard time. Oh, dude, me too. You know, like let's just get through this shit together and then fucking come out on the other side.
Right.
And then as soon as I started progressing, like, you know, I went to Airman Leadership School. I got, below the zone, you know, like stuff like that. And it just started to climb. And it was so rapid. And it was just because I believed in like everything I was doing. And I cared about the troops and I cared about my people and I cared about everybody I was responsible for. And then they started putting responsibility in my hand. And I was like, fuck, I like this. I can do this, right? I love leading people. You give me 100 people, I promise you I'll have every single one of those people following every fucking word I say. It's not because it's a cocky thing. It's because I have conviction. I believe in my ability to move forward with people and I want them to come with me, right? And it's like, I want to motivate because a lot of people just don't, it's not that they don't have the motivation. It's just that they lack the stepping stones. They lack the ability. They've never had anybody. Maybe they've just never had anybody that said anything nice to them. You know, shit. I fucking just met Renee 3 years ago. The only woman in my life ever that has ever valued me for who I am as a person and not what I provide financially or anything. She thought I was broke. First, like, why? I was just like, I don't have any money. She's like, that's cool. And I was like, and then I started asking her for money for bills. She was like, sure. I'm like, well, fuck, man. This one may be the real deal. So I was like, you know, I just started testing people because I fucking could. Yeah. And it's just like, because I don't know who's real and who's not.
Right.
You know? So it's like you get to a point in your life where you're like, fuck, man, you know, might as well just try this out and see if it works. And then it just started to work. And then this person started to believe in me and was like, I would say stuff instead of shooting me down. She was like, that's a fucking great idea. I think you should do that. I was like, you know what? I fucking should. She's like, go do it now. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to. And it's like, a lot of people just don't have that. You know, a lot of men I talk to, they don't have fucking anybody in their life, dude. They don't have a dad. They don't have a girlfriend. They're chasing women for their value. You know, they're watching too much porn. They're doing all this. They're doing all the wrong shit. They're literally jerking themselves off into like a dopamine depression because they have nothing else to do with their life. They have no direction. No direction.
I think you hit the nail on the head, man. I think even people in relationships that I talk to, still their woman does not support them. And I don't think people understand that. You hit the nail on the head. It's so sad when you come up to your girl and you're like, hey, I have this idea, and they shoot you down.
Dude, the worst.
Like, that is the fucking worst. Like,
who else do you go to?
You need to have my fucking back. Minimum.
Yeah.
If you're my girl.
Right.
And a lot of men go through that, man. And I think that relationships actually play the biggest part in male depression.
100% agree.
I actually think it's probably 90% of the reason why men are depressed is because they can't find a woman. But also, the reason why I said we have different views is because I think if you're fat, you're out of shape, you're saying you're working at McDonald's, you're working at a job that you fucking hate. Right. Those are your choices. You're 100%. Choosing to do all that, right?
100%. I agree.
Like, you're choosing to be weak. You're choosing to not get that six pack, right?
Sure.
I have not chose that. He has not chose that.
Right.
You have not chose that. But I think arguably I was like you, dude. I was super small. I don't know how Dustin was. He always looked, I seen his old pictures. He always looked good. He was lucky. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he was looking
Dude started
good.
like that.
Look,
Dude was born like
he was
that.
born with a six pack, but I had to work for it.
190.
You know?
Out of high school.
Dude, I didn't see 190 until I was like 35. You know what I mean?
Same.
Crazy.
Actually, to be honest with you, when I was in 12th grade, I think I hit a right around like 170, 180. So I wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But either way, I think a lot of men, they just choose to be that. They choose to be fat and out of shape. So I don't feel bad for those people, man.
100%. Yeah. No, I don't feel bad for anybody that's not willing to help themselves, for sure.
Exactly.
I think a lot of it has to do with just, it starts to be this point where it's like, I don't want to say I don't care, but it's like, if I've given you the tools and you simply refuse to employ the tools, it's not a matter of anything else other than, it's not that you lack the knowledge, you lack the know-how, you lack this or that. You just lack fucking discipline. Like, you know what it takes to get to 10% body fat for a show. You know what discipline, a client knows what discipline it takes to get there, but they don't have it. And so it's like, you know what it takes to get out of bed and put your shoes on, but you not doing it is a whole other thing. That's just laziness at that point. It just becomes like a woe is me thing. And I get it. I've been through plenty of periods where I had so many things to say about myself, and it didn't help me. It didn't help me. It just put me further into a hole. Yeah, nobody understands you. You're just going through this. It's only happening to you. Bullshit. Like, it's happening to everybody. It's so weird that you can talk to 100 people and you're all having the fucking same life. You know what I mean? Like, worst day of my life, man. I got fired and my wife left me. That happened to Jim over there too.
Yeah.
It's like,
he's still a millionaire.
Yeah, it's
he
like
Jim
Jim
used that as fuel.
You know, he's like, dude, look at him now. 6 months later, this guy's got, a 10 and he's got a six pack and he's killing it.
Yeah.
He's got a better job.
Yeah.
Why? Because he used it as a fuel to be like, you know what? this sucks and I don't want to live like this anymore. And a lot of people just don't ever get there. They just don't get to the point where they hate what they're doing so much that they just want to change. And I think you can't, there's no amount of coaching or help or anything in the world that'll get somebody to that. They can get right there. Get them right there. But after that, it's either up to them to like extend a hand or just let go and fall. And you can't do anything else after that.
I call those people the bare minimum people, right? So they do the absolute bare minimum to just survive in life. They have all of these aspirations, but no action behind any of it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, just the desire to find a result or to get to that result has to match the level of action to achieve it.
Yeah.
And if you don't have both of those, it's never going to happen.
Oh, and you'll speak to that. I mean, there's so many people that are so word-based, not action-based. And so many people fall for the word-based people. I can make anything sound good. I can read you the back of a Pop-Tart box and make it sound like fucking Matthew McConaughey's putting you to sleep. But that's not gonna do anything. You know what I mean? It might sound good. And people fall for that shit all the time. Like, man, that guy sounds good. I should buy a course from him. It's like, it's not even him, you know, or something like that. Like, the Andy Elliott's of the world exist because there are always people that are here looking for something. They want to be a part of something greater, right? They want to just be part of the good boys club. They want to go to a place where everybody accepts them, and that's fine. It's okay. But if a guy has to tell you how to be a man, you have a lot of work to do, brother. You have a lot of work to do. I don't tell men how to be men. I give them tools on how to deal with what they're going through. It's not my job to teach you how to be a man. I teach you how to have compassion, how to be a pillar of the community, how to have respect, how to have maturity, how to have boundaries. So many guys I talk to don't have fucking boundaries. It's like, you know, you're allowed to say, I don't like this. Don't do it to me anymore. But they're so afraid of losing the girl or causing waves or whatever. It's like, who fucking cares, man?
Yeah, you only have one life.
There are plenty of people out there that will listen to every word you say and be like, hey, I like that. I like what you got. And I'm going to stick with it because I believe in you. And people just don't feel like that exists for some reason. And it's like, maybe if you align yourself with a life where you're actually proud of, you'd be surprised how many people come from all over because they can kind of feel it. They're drawn to it. It's just the moment I started doing this. I started getting messages in my inbox from everywhere. Why? Because I was aligned with it. Right. Like I try to believe in manifestation. Renee's a little bit more metaphysical than I am, and I'm learning. I still learn from my partner. Right. So I'm trying to be more open to like having my alignment with the true purpose of what I feel in here. And if I'm speaking, people will listen because I believe in it. Right.
That's exactly what I was going to say is you're in your purpose now.
Yes. And that's where for the first time ever in my life, I feel like I'm in my purpose. I love being a dad. I love being a partner. I love being a good husband, but all those things are great. And I can have those things and I can be those things, but I can also be my own person. And I can also align with what makes me feel good as a human being. Right. And I've been to those places where it's like people beat you down so much where you get to a point where you're just like, you start to morph into something that's not you. And then you start to move like the lesser people. You know, you start to cut corners and you start to hurt people and you start to disrespect people. You start to use women. You start to go through all these periods. And it's like, I hate that for guys because at that point you are really far gone. You should have gotten help way before then because now you're almost like an apparition that's doomed to haunt the planet because at that point you've mutated yourself into a person that is not you anymore. You are just trying to get by and you're a horrible human being at that point. You are doing things that nobody would condone, right? And I hate when people get to that point because they don't have enough self-respect and self-love and boundaries to just say, hey, it's okay. You know, you want to cheat, you want to do this, you can go on over there and do that. I don't need it.
Right.
Somebody out there will be for me that is not going to do those things.
Right. So you said you know, Renee believes in manifestation a lot more than you do. So you don't really believe in manifestation, or?
I do. I've actually been practicing a lot over the last 2 or 3 years with her. Like I'll write. It's actually kind of crazy. Renee has an entire journal that she wrote before. I think I might have told you this, but she wrote an entire thing she showed me of what she wanted in a partner. Described me to a T, actually. And then we met.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. I used to train, you know, Renee for a while before she met you actually. And she was always telling me her problems, right? Like men are like, they're little bitches, right? Like she's waiting for like a manly man to come in her life and take control. But I want to get on the manifestation because that's what I tell everybody. Okay. If we're here, this is all impossible. This is impossible. You're impossible. I'm impossible. So manifestation has to be real, right? It has to be real. You have to manifest what the fuck you want. Like if you want a pro card, you got to manifest it. If I want wins and I want to go to the show and I want to slam as many overalls as I can, I don't know who's going. I mean, sometimes there's been close battles where it could have not went my way.
Right.
And it does because I believe that fucking hard. You have to really, truly believe it. It's the same way, like I have things happen in my life in the past that there's no way it could happen. Right. It's impossible. I wake up with this feeling, right? I'm going to see this person today, right? I just know it. I don't know why. I don't know how. I'm just going to do it. And all of a sudden I see that person. I haven't seen that person in 7 years, but I see him today. So something spiritual is definitely going on there. So I think manifestation is 100% real. Another thing you said is, you know, you don't have anyone to teach you to be a man. You don't want to teach somebody to be a man. I think a lot of that comes down to not having dads, straight up.
Sure.
You just said you didn't have a dad. Yes, you had your stepdad, right? But your dad is speared. I know he didn't have the best father. I just got disowned of my father like a couple years back. Even before I disowned him, he wasn't the best dad, right? My mom raised all three of us. There was times we had no power, we had no food, and she would call him and be like, oh, I have my other family to provide for. Okay, cool. No big deal. And I went weeks without power. I went weeks without food. It is what it is, right?
But you did use it as an excuse.
But of course not. And I think a lot of men will use that as an excuse, and they play that sympathy card. Like 100%. I think not having a dad and not having that positive role model really will, you know, impact the way you are as a man.
Agree.
Absolutely. I mean, when you have a father who, again, is in his purpose as a father, you are at a great advantage in life. You're going to be able to, he's going to be able to bestow all of his good tools and his bad tools on you and from his toolbox in terms of how you should live life, how you should deal with certain situations or whatever the case.
And I try not to be too hard on my dad. Like he's a good man, but he's learning to, you know, like I try to remind people, this is our fucking first time here. Now, so you meet people that I'm like, hey, you've been here a couple times because they just got all their shit together. You know what I mean? They just seem like they can't make a fucking mistake. That's Renee. Doesn't make a mistake at all, ever. I'm like, I'm gonna catch you one day. It's just not gonna happen. But it's like, you've been here a couple times, or she's just that aligned. And I think when it comes back to the manifestation stuff, you have to put in something though. Like, it's like, sure, you can wish for anything, but until you're ready to apply with that alignment, got to apply yourself. You have to. It's just like the actions are so intentional though, but everything you move with just seems to go in that line. And that's why I believe in so heartily what I'm doing, is because when others see you moving with that kind of intention and they see you moving with a purpose, they want to know how they can just get a piece of it. And it's like, maybe just try doing what you want to do for once instead of what everybody else. It's like, have you lost yourself? Fucking good. Now you can start being the person that you want to be and the person you've always intended to be instead of what everybody else thinks you should fucking be. Go on with your life. Do what you want to do. And you'd be surprised how many times I ask somebody, what do you do for fun? Fuck, I don't even know. What is the last thing you've done for yourself in the last year? Nothing. And it's just like everything they do is a movement for somebody else. It's like, why don't you take that risk that you put on everybody else, fucking double it, put it on yourself and see what happens. It's like, you're not even putting any kind of, you don't even believe in yourself. How do you expect others to believe in you? I mean, I believe in myself to do a lot, man, a lot. I can do whatever I want to with limitations. And it's not because I have sometimes I used to have like an upper limit problem. So I grew up poor, didn't have a good job, military didn't pay very well. You know what I mean? So like when I started working in sales, I got that first like $20,000 check. I was like, my fucking brain exploded. And I was like, oh my God, dude, I can do anything. And then I was like, man, I'm hot shit. So I was hanging around with guys that were making $100,000 a month. I'm like, fuck, I suck. And it's like, then it's like crazy how you can be on top of the world one moment and then you hang around with somebody doing better than you and it's changed. But people will shift their perspectives. Social media happens a lot with people. It's like, I only got 100 likes on my video. It's like, bro, 100 people liked what you fucking had to do today. That's a lot of people. If 100 people walked through this fucking door right now and said, hey, I like you, man, you'd be fucking overwhelmed. Absolutely. Your brain would explode. But people don't take those small things and give themselves enough credit. And they think that it's just like this linear thing that just doesn't, stop. And it's like, I try to remind people about the growth they're going through. It's never going to stop. You don't get to a place one day where nothing affects you.
Yeah.
The waves are always going to crash down on you, but maybe today they don't sink you. Maybe today you just pop right back up. It's about how you do with things over time. And people they just can't get that. They forget that we're human beings. And it's just like, man, you're allowed to fuck up. As long as you don't stop trying, you're not failing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll try anything 17 times. I don't care. 30 times. I'll just keep going until I can't get it, until I'm like, man, maybe this just ain't for me,
Right.
But some people just don't have that, I guess.
And I think a lot of people, man, they're like, they forget where they came from. Like sometimes I go back through my social media, man, and I look and I'm like, when I posted this, I had 14 likes and I was so fucking happy that I got these 14
yeah.
likes. I'm like, dude, 14 people like it, cool. And now I get a couple, like you said, 100. But you hit the nail on the head, man. If 100 people walked in and said, dude, great fucking post, you're gonna feel like on $1 million.
Yeah,
You get 100 people
Yeah,
in
bro.
this room, like,
Yeah.
what the
You can't even fit 100
Everybody
people in.
clapping. Imagine 100 people clapping for you, dude.
It'd be
Does it
unbelievable.
fucking matter? Right?
So I think a lot of times people, especially go-getters, man, they have to understand that. Go back in time and figure out, like when I first started, I wanted 15 clients. I'm like, if I could have 15 clients, bro, I would be just living a whole different life.
Yeah.
And now I have almost 100 clients right now.
Fuck yeah.
So just think about it. But I have a problem too because I'm never satisfied. And I think that's what like a lot of people in the fitness community go through as well. Like you probably think you're small. He probably thinks he's small. I know we all go through it, right?
Yeah.
We have this psychotic brain like malfunction that says we always need to do better. And I think that's good because it keeps us accountable and it keeps us pushing, keeps us driving. But you cannot forget where you started. You know.
I agree.
Most definitely.
100%.
Yep. But anyway, man, I want to get on it because, you specifically are helping multiple young men in Sarasota, right? You created a thing. You went and had this community now where you're going to do stuff with men. Give us a rundown of that. When did that come in?
Yeah, so that occurred because that actually came from my partner. It was like, hey, you know what? You're doing such a great job with the one-on-one stuff and you used to do group stuff. Why don't you try and apply that outside of here? And I was like, that's a great fucking idea. Like, she's always coming up with stuff. She's got a journal at home of stuff I should do. And I'm like, that's great. Like, but she believes in me so much that she's just like, hey, look what I found today. And now I've got other guys like, Trevor, you just sent me a thing today. Hey, dude, this would be a great idea for our next thing. I'm like, dude, I fucking love that. You know why? Because it's getting people excited about something. It's like, instead of just being in a box playing fucking PlayStation, which is fine. I game occasionally. Like I do things to turn my fucking brain off sometimes because it's loud in here. Oh, yeah. My brain works like a fucking filing cabinet. I'm like, okay, that's important. Hang on, put it to the side. And I'm like, and it's like, at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, it's time to lay my head down. Oh, filing cabinet time. Yep. And it's like, my brain never stops. And it's because of that it like makes me who I am, but also, God, it would be nice to have a break sometimes. You know what I mean? But even we forget as adults, like I didn't have a great childhood, but when I was climbing those fucking trees at that obstacle course, I felt like a kid again. And that felt nice, just to be able to play and fuck off, and not have any responsibilities for a little bit, except for hanging out with some other kids doing the same thing. And I forget, like a lot of us didn't have that growing up, like that nurtured childhood where it's just like, hey man, it's okay to have fun and it's okay to be who you are for a little bit. And so this whole thing just came about, like, I was just like, man, I know all these guys. I'm just going to invite them out. Now, initially, the sign up was like 18 people, which was great. Then, financial stuff, and people were, scared to admit they couldn't afford it because it was kind of expensive. It was like $70.
It's pretty expensive, yeah. I've been there before.
So, I was like, hey, next time, open your mouth and say something that way, because a lot of guys were like, hey, I would have paid for so and so,
exactly,
or I would have chipped in $20, and it's like you don't know until you fucking ask. Exactly. I would have paid for your ticket if it meant you getting out of your fucking house where you're crying and you don't know what to do versus coming out and being with a bunch of like-minded guys and having fun for 6 hours. Yeah. What do you think I would have rather had for you?
Absolutely.
But the second I do that, somebody's like, why would you do that? And it's like, because why wouldn't I? If I'm in the position to help somebody, that's what I think is. I used to think it was always about getting stuff. Like I'd get this and then I'd be happy, or I'd find this person, I'd be happy, or I'd fucking reach a new level of business and I'd be happy. Nothing ever made me feel whole until I started giving a part of my success back to people to help lift them up around me. And I'll tell you what, a bunch of the guys I've done that before, I swear to God, they would kill for me if I asked, because I'm like the first person that's ever believed in them. And that is what gets me. That's what gets me worked up. It's because it's like me being the first person in your life, 30 fucking years. I'm not even your dad. I just met you like 6 months ago. How am I changing your life in such an impactful way? And it's because I'm the first person to ever ask them how they are. I call them up. How are you doing? Why are you asking? Well, I don't know, man. I was just thinking about you. Blows their fucking mind. Yeah. Blows their fucking mind. So I get worked up about it because I'm just like, man, I do what I wish somebody would have done for me. Mm-hmm. But then again, I probably wouldn't have been in the same position I am in now. Yeah. Would I trade all of the shit that I've been through for an easier life? Fuck no. Never would I have traded it if I knew where I was now. But you asked me 6-7 years ago when I was sitting in the middle of my fucking floor after my wife took the kids, left me with an empty house, and I sat there in the middle of the floor with a gun in my hand for fucking weeks on end, wondering if I should just put myself out of my misery. At that point, maybe, but not now. I'm glad I don't even know. I don't even know what happened. One day I just said, I'm fucking done doing this shit. Why? Fuck, I'm going to go do something for me. Yeah. Started taking hikes alone, started going to the movies alone, started eating alone. Then before I knew it, nobody had access to me. It was the fucking safest I've ever been. And you know what? I liked being by myself. because I couldn't hurt myself and nobody else could hurt me. And that was powerful.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people aren't willing to take a step back and be like, I need to unfuck myself and figure out what I need to do with my life in order to not feel like a piece of shit anymore. I don't want to hate myself anymore. I spend more time with myself than anybody. Like I got to at least like what's going on in here.
Absolutely.
Even if I don't, I have tools to help me. Like, hey, you're doing great today, man. You know, like maybe don't be so fucking hard on yourself. Like, sure, you didn't get that sale, but you came home and you have a roof over your head. You're able to go buy groceries. And like, once you get to that point where you're just safe, it changes things.
Right.
And when people are safe for the first time in their life and they feel like they actually have somebody to lean on, even if it's just themselves, their perspective changes. And then all of a sudden they start believing in themselves and it's a fucking domino effect.
Yep.
And that's what I love. It's like, I had a guy call me yesterday and he's like, dude, I fucking got this job I always wanted. I was like, well, that's great, man. What changed? He's like, I just called and asked.
Yeah,
People think it's that hard, but
Dude,
sometimes it's
that's
really
what I'm
that
saying.
easy.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, it's not luck.
Yeah.
It's not luck. It's because you chose to make a decision to go out there and do something for yourself for the first time. And now you're reaping the benefits.
Yeah.
It's like, I told Matt a little story like about this video game I used to play. And I had like kind of this fucking like, I logged on for the first time in like years. I used to play it for when I was a kid. And it's just my escape from reality, right? I hated my life. I didn't like what I was doing. I had like fucking 40,000 hours in this shit. And I was like, if 40,000 hours blows my fucking mind. If I had 40,000 hours of my life back and put it into something that would have like, you know, business or whatever. Now I don't regret the time because it was wonderful, but
I was
Jesus,
about to say, man,
yeah,
we got different, you know.
Hours, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like
10,000 hours makes mastery.
You know
bro.
what I'm
could have been a
saying?
master
Exactly.
of fucking
Exactly.
4
I got
different-
5 PhDs by now. You know what I mean? But it's just like I challenge people to really get outside their box and look at the stuff that they're spending time on. Take that same 6 hours a week that you spend arguing with somebody that doesn't want to be in your life, like trying to chase them, fucking go play guitar or something. Like you'd be surprised how far you can get in 6 hours. And people are so surprised at all that when they start to fill their life in with all the time that they spend on bullshit, chasing people, doing things for others that aren't reciprocated or fucking anything. It's just like, man, I've got all this extra time. I don't know what to do. My first real relationship, like with Renee, the amount of time I saved by just not having somebody to argue with is insane. I used to get to the point where I was so physically ill, I would throw up every day from nausea, just from having like my central nervous system fried from arguing all day.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't, should we be talking right now? She's like, no, we don't have to. I'm like, okay, cool. And you just you freak out because you're like, I don't know what to do with all the fucking free time I've got now. It's like,
Yeah.
it's great.
I don't know about you guys, man, but like when I'm not in a relationship, right, I feel like something's missing. I feel like I don't have a purpose anymore. Like, why am I working this hard? Why am I doing all this? So the second I'm good with my partner, it's like I'm tunnel vision. I'm sure you can attest to this. Like you're working now, you're on your path because you have somebody that supports you and helps you. But I think a lot of men go through that, man. Like they don't have a woman that actually believes in them and supports them, and they're not tunnel vision, man. They're focusing on people who are single. They're focusing on finding that relationship.
Sure.
And it's almost the wrong thing to focus on.
100%.
But I gotta say, I was like the same thing.
But the right
It is what it
relationship
is.
can fucking make you. And I'll tell you right now, I'll tell you exactly why it's like that for you, because you're a real fucking guy. At your base, you're a provider. You're a masculine man. You like masculinity. I'm just going to put this on the fucking record. Masculinity is not fucking screaming in the sky, being scary or whatever. I'm capable of great violence, but what brings me to my moral standing is the fact that I can control that violence. Same with Dustin, same with you. It's not something to be used as a sword and shield. It's supposed to be as a protective, you know what I mean? So a lot of guys have this like mentality where it's like alpha. It's like, ooh, big, scary, strong guy, you know, whatever the case may be. Fuck all that. It's about being able to be a fucking pillar of your community. It's about being able to lift the people around you. It's about to lead, have compassion, empathy, hold space for your fucking people.
Yeah.
Support them. And it's like, Matt could be going through 40 things we don't fucking know about, but because he's a stoic person with a head on, he's not gonna be sitting here crying, and that's fine. Now in person, you can be like, dude, I'm kind of struggling. That's different. But a lot of people have this misconception. It's like this alpha mentality. I fucking can't stand it. Like the Andy Elliott says, you gotta have a 6-pack in order to be a human being.
Yeah, he's
like,
right.
dude, come on, man. Like guys can be great fathers. They could be great providers. They could be great anything. They just are lacking a little bit something in their life.
Yes.
Maybe they just need somebody to fucking talk to, be like, dude, I had a shitty fucking week at work. I fucking hate my boss. And I'm like, hey, don't kill him. And you're like, dude, that's all I needed to hear. Like sometimes it just takes a little bit of something to keep somebody from going off the fucking edge. Yeah. So you're a masculine ass man. You have a family. you have a family, you just want to provide. And it's because of your innate want to provide. That's what makes you a solid guy. That's why you want that. It's like everybody, we're not fucking, I don't care what society says, man. We're still fucking animals. Like at the end of the day, I still want to make love to my wife. I still want to provide for her. I still want to take care of my kids. And I would do all that while I'm suffering because I'm fucking supposed to, right? I'm supposed to. But at the same time, man, it'd be great to have somebody to fucking talk to about it.
Yeah. Well, that's why you need a friend. You know, what I've came to realize is that masculinity and being an alpha has nothing to do with how you look. It has to do with your mindset, right? Because I've seen a lot of guys who are really big. They'd be like, man, that guy's cool. He is the softest.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's gay. It's fine if you're gay, but like you're just not masculine, right? Like you don't hold the door for women. You're a cheater. You run around. You're just not a masculine man.
That's
right?
bullshit.
You left your freaking kids. Like you're not a provider. So in that, and they could look a type of way.
Sure.
But I see this skinny guy who's skinny as shit. Who gives a shit if he's skinny, but he's just small, but he's holding the door, being a man. So I think masculinity and being alpha is so much more about a mindset 100%. Than it is a look, you know? Yeah, so that's why I don't agree with the guy saying you have to have a six pack.
I'm not trying to call him out. And the thing, I met the guy, super nice, but Renee's ex, he was with him 3 years. And one day she just told me, like, she was just like, man, this guy's the fucking nicest guy I've ever met.
Yeah, right, it's nice.
But there's no direction. There's no provision. There's no anything. He just kind of lives off me. And it's like, okay. Women don't look for that, but they need some kind of containment. They want to know that they're fucking safe.
Yes.
And it's like, but also no woman wants a man that can't protect them. You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
that's the bare minimum,
right?
Like you guys see the video of the guy, the ladies, the girls, two-stair house. She's laying on the couch. The guy's coming upstairs with a shotgun, turns to the girl, and then turns to the guy. And the little skinny guy dude grabs a shotgun.
I haven't seen it.
Drags his ass. Yeah, he pretty much fights for the shotgun.
Yeah.
Pretty much the guy who has the shotgun drags the kid down the stairs, and then you see him coming up to the top of the stairs with the shotgun, and he's just holding the shotgun.
Yeah, dude.
And he's like, "What's up, motherfucker?" Yeah. Like, I got, so, and he was a skinny guy.
Right.
You have to be able to at least protect your fucking woman, you know?
And it's a lot of people think it was just about being loud. I'm sure you heard about the bar situation. I hate going to bars. It's just not.
I'm not hear about that.
It's just not my.
Hear about it.
It's just not my thing, right? Yeah. So I go with my brother. He's here from Michigan. He looks a certain way. He's tattooed neck to feet, right? The guy just attracts chaos. It's just because of the way he looks. And we go out with a couple guys that are big, and it's like, I don't know what it is, but other people see that and they're like, fuck that guy. And it's like, why? But it's like, we're just having a drink, celebrating, and then my brother's on probation, and the other person we happen to be with was on probation. So it's just me and 2 other women. And we're just like sitting there. And these guys just kept fucking bothering my brother because he was with a girl. He kept bumping into him. And so I know my brother's got a temper like this. The dude hasn't lost a fight since he was 14. Okay. He's insane. Right. But I know he just half-cocked. He'll get loud, and before you know it, you're dead, right? So, and again, I just try to go over there. I said, excuse me, why do you keep doing that? And he's like, fuck off. I was like, okay, I mean, but why though? Like, you guys keep coming over here bothering everybody. What is the fucking problem? And before I knew it, like, I tried to talk the guy down. He goes, what are you going to fucking do about it? I was like, honestly, man, probably nothing, unless you act in a way that's inappropriate, right? Like, we're just here having a good time. Again, I gave this guy like 40 chances to back out, we're just having a good time, brother. You're in your 40s. Like, what are you even doing? It's him and his buddy. Yeah. And before I know it, he hits my brother in the throat. So the other guy throws a swing at me. I knock him out. One, just duck. He's done. The other guy down for the count. Like, my brother took care of him. But it was just like, those guys, it's just like, why? Like, I don't like that kind of shit. No. And it's just like, I'm at a point where it's like, oh, it's cool, whatever. But it's like, I don't want to be the guy that has to resort to that kind of stuff in order to get my fucking point across. Like, why can't you just be a real fucking human being and have a conversation with somebody? What are you so pressed about? And some people are like, just everything is a projection with people, especially weaker men. It's just a constant projection. You look better. I fucking hate you already. Because you know why? Because you've got what I don't. Like, I go to the water park in Tennessee. I'm a fucking god there. It's like, this dude's got abs. Something wrong with him. It's like the obesity rate's like 90%. Yeah. And it's like, dads will come up to me and it's like, bro, where do you find the time? I was like, bro, I got 4 kids. Yeah, I don't have the fucking time either, but I make it, right? And everybody thinks there's some kind of secret. And it's like, it's just because that's what I want to do. It's not my fault your wife's looking at me because you fucking look like a moose and you haven't cared in 20 years. Maybe that's why your marriage is failing, because you stopped giving a fuck. Like, I don't care as long as I live. Renee's going to know 3 things. I'm always going to take care of her. I'm always going to look good because I'm going to take care of myself. And number 3, I'm always going to provide. Yep. It doesn't matter. I'm always going to be a good dad. I'm always going to do the things I'm supposed to. I'm always going to be a business guy. That's just what I find fulfilling. That's what I want to do. It's not because I'm trying to fucking impress you. I don't care. And I tell people this all the time. My first mentor said, I used to place value on the dumbest shit, the cars, whatever. And it's like, that stuff's cool. He's like, do you know what gives a value to diamonds? And I said, I really don't know.
So
Fucking, well, it's people.
Yeah.
People give value to diamonds. They're fucking useless rocks.
Shiny. I like it.
They're useless fucking rocks.
Money.
You know, in some countries,
You're not wrong.
they're if engagement rings weren't a thing, they wouldn't fucking exist.
No.
Right? But it's like, who can get the biggest rock, the best quality, whatever. It's valuable because people place value on it.
Correct.
And I try to get people to understand it's like, you will find value in the things that you fucking deem valuable. No offense, Dustin's an amazing person, but if he told me I was a fucking piece of shit right now, I'd be like, that sucks, man. You know, but it was good to meet you. Right? Like that, you know, I wish I could have changed your mind. I thought we could have been friends. But I don't value Dustin enough yet for his opinion to matter to me.
Right,
and so many people place value on things where it's like, why? Like, you're not getting anything out of that fucking person. They're not fucking you. They're not paying your pills. They're not taking care of your kids for you. Who are they to you? And it's like, I value two people in my life, my other half and my family. And that, like, it's pretty much it. Like, unless you really mean the world to me, yeah, I don't give your opinion means dick.
Yeah.
And no offense.
Do you have any friends that you could reach out to?
I do. Yeah, I have a couple.
You really reach out to
100%. Like, I got a buddy named Jordan and Chris. They're military buddies. They're up in New York. One's just having a second kid. The other one's just, dude, he's doing great. But like, we'll check in every 3 months, 3 to 6 months, because we're like solid, right? But we do like the battle buddy stuff. And we'll go together. We'll go on hikes, and they're like actually who I'm organizing the next event with. But I've needed that less and less. I actually kind of rely on my partner a lot, you know, because she's just so invaluable to me, and her opinion means the world. And sometimes I'll even ask her, I'm like, what do you think about this? And she'll be like, I think you're fucking stupid for doing that. And I'll be like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I can't even get mad because she's right. She's right all the time. And even when she's right or she's wrong, she'll give me the honesty that I need. And I fucking need people in my corner that are honest. And that's what I try to instill in these guys that come out to this thing. It's like, dude, if you have one thing in your life, if you have one person, just make sure that they can be fucking brutally honest with you. If you're fucking up, you're fucking up. Right. Like, if I say, hey, dude, I cheated on my wife the other day, I'm not going to be your fucking friend anymore, honestly. You know what I mean? Because you're a piece of shit to me now, because I wouldn't have done that. So why did you do that? I'm not going to associate myself with somebody that is a piece of shit like that. And so they're so quick to like, grasp their pearls. And it's like, I'm sorry, but I actually have a set of standards that I live by. I'm not going to surround myself with people that are doing shit I would never want to do. And it's like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't fucking party, I don't stay up late, I don't do this shit. And would some people think I'm fucking lame for that?
But every once in a while, you don't mind doing it.
No.
It's just you're not going to do it religiously.
No, absolutely. You know. And people probably think I would be lame for that. But you know what? To be lame in the eyes of somebody I would never fucking want to be like is a success to me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, that's success to me. Is like, if you fucking think I'm messing up with and I feel like I'm doing good, I'm doing great, man. Yeah. I'm doing great.
I think it comes down to, like, when you're younger, man, it's just having morals, you know? How much time we got?
Probably going now.
Okay, cool. Sure. So when I was younger, you know, last thing, when I was younger, some people don't know this about me, but I've never smoked. I've never touched a drug. Steroids don't count. Okay. I've never touched a drug. I've never smoked. I never smoked cigarettes. And when I lost almost every one of my best friends, one of them's dead. The other one's in and out of jail. Right. You know, the other one, I don't even know how he's doing, but I know he went off the bender there. But the second these people started smoking pot, and I'm like 12, 13, 14, 15, I completely stopped talking to these people. Now, this was probably a little overkill because I know pot now is a little bit different, but I just knew because my parents, my mom, pretty much my entire family was ex-drug addicts. So I seen a lot growing up. So I knew to stay away from that.
Sure.
And I chose to disassociate myself from those people. Like, the second I found out that you were smoking pot, even though we talked about this for years, you would never do it. We'd never do it. It's our pact, right? The second they did, I completely cut them out of my life. Right. And if I didn't do that and I was like, okay, fine, I would have probably eventually done something. But I just had that moral guideline. Like, I'm never going to cross that. And to this day, he tries to get me to smoke now, but I've never smoked a day in my life. And I never will, you know, because I want to be able to tell my kids, like, hey, look, I didn't do it. You can too. Even though, is it that bad? I don't think so. He can agree, right? I don't think it's that bad. Drinking is arguably worse, probably, right? But that's just my moral guideline because of what I went through when I was a kid. So I think you're 100% right, man. Men need to have that guidelines, especially with who they surround themselves with. You got to surround yourself by good people, man, or else they're just going to keep dragging you and bringing you down.
Can I say something to the camera?
Go for it.
So if you guys have been listening, which I hope you did and made it to the end, What Matt was talking about is I do events bi-weekly, sometimes every week, for locals in the Sarasota, Bradenton area. Even if you want to travel, we do to Tampa, St. Petersburg, et cetera. I also do in Tennessee. So if you guys want to come out, it doesn't matter what your age is. It doesn't matter if you know me. It doesn't matter if you know anybody. Just show up. If you need somebody to talk to, we're always here. Matt's going to leave my information, I believe.
Sure.
You can reach out to me at any time to figure out how you want to get involved. Most of them are free. Sometimes we just do like a little cover for events for food and whatever. But if you guys want to come out to any of these things, please come. You're more than welcome. And don't think you need to know me or whatever in case in order to show up.
Yep. What's the name of the Instagram that they should be following?
So I'm going to leave it. It's the evolved man _. And so I'm sure you'll.
I'll tag it.
Yeah,
we'll post it. Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys will have it. But if anybody needs information about it, you reach out to Matt or me. We'd love to see you. We'd love to meet you.
Beautiful, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
That was a good one, man. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
brother.
brother. Dustin,
Keep helping all that man, because we know the world needs us.
Yes,
so
sir.
We'll keep going, man.
Thanks, boys.
What do we got to do,
Hey,
Dustin?
y'all,
Tell 'em
hit
what's
that
up, man.
subscribe button. Yeah, a lot of y'all watching this aren't subscribed, so we need y'all to do that, please. Thumbs up, bell notification, hit the comments. You know what it is, and much love, many blessings. We'll see you on the next one.